Joining me now for a deeper look at how all of this impacts the political scene, I'd like to welcome in White House correspondent for thehill.com, Alex Gangitano. Alex, thank you for your time on this. So we're hearing from Aurora officials there. They're really focusing on the criminal aspect of this. At the top of the hour, we talked about how the city of Denver says the Biden administration's border policies have actually greatly reduced the number of migrants coming across the border into the U.S. recently. So now Denver is saying it's unnecessary to maintain their Denver Asylum Seekers program. So my question for you, Alex, is the current administration doing a good enough job of touting these actually reduced numbers?
Yeah, that's a big question that it's similar to the way that they're dealing with, I think, the economy is how I would relate it, is that the administration has to toe this line of saying things are improving because of what we're doing, but we still hear Americans when they're saying that we're not doing enough, enough hasn't been done. They don't want to dismiss people's concerns. And that's similar to what I think when, a city like Denver says the administration has done a lot. We're actually seeing our numbers decrease and the issue decrease. I think that is more impactful than the Biden administration trying to take a victory lap on this themselves, because, again, they do want to hear the concerns that Americans still have. So I do think that's big news that Denver was able to say that. And what a big takeaway is what you mentioned out of Aurora is that the police officer there was saying this isn't about immigration. This is about keeping a community safe, and this is about crime. It's up to the federal government to figure out immigration reform and policy on that level. It's up to us to figure out crime, regardless of what your documentation status is.
And Alex, we have seen Republican lawmakers, really focusing in on this issue. Many of them were at the border just this week. There have been numerous Republican-led committee hearings on immigration, on the border crisis. Is the GOP winning when it comes to defining a sense of what's happening, maybe versus the current reality of those reduced numbers, because we're still seeing, a large number of crossings?
Right. Is this a messaging battle at this point that we're seeing a large number of crossings, but they've decreased so significantly? You can see that in the graphic there. But the more the Republican Party talks about this, brings it up on the campaign trail, people do still see it as a big issue. And in certain communities, like a Denver or Arizona or Texas, that they really are seeing it firsthand. I think it's a question of how voters are feeling there. And some of those are really critical swing states this election, like Arizona, like Nevada. But Republicans are definitely going to keep hammering on this point until Election Day. This is a hot button issue that does rank pretty high for how Americans are feeling on issues they really care about. So as much as the Biden administration can put out numbers like this and statistics that show that the president's executive order is working, there are less encounters at the border, Republicans are still saying that's not enough. And it's a question of where voters resonate on that messaging.
Last question for you, Alex. We can talk, but it's about solutions. Is either campaign offering real solutions? We know that the former president talks about mass deportations, but do we know what that would actually look like? And what have we really heard definitively from the current vice president, Kamala Harris?
Yeah. So the former president, as you mentioned, has talked about this mass deportations, talked about a crackdown at the border, but we don't have details. We don't have what exactly that would look like, and how perhaps messy a policy like that could be when you go down to the nitty gritty of what that means for families already in the U.S., for children of these families that have been migrated into the U.S. And then on the vice president's side, she has said that she wants that border deal that was negotiated by a bipartisan group of senators to pass. And that's a deal that failed in the House. And because former President Trump stepped in and said that this should fail, kind of politicized the moment. And now here we are, and the vice president is calling for Congress to pass that and says she wants to sign it into law. That's an uphill battle. It would take a Democratic majority, I think, at this point in Congress. But there's still a lot of Democrats who didn't agree what was in it, some pro-immigration progressives that didn't agree with what was in it. So it's an uphill battle. So both parties, at the end of the day, I think, are not getting too far into details on what they actually would do to solve this issue.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.